Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Well, have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Monday, November 27th, 2023. And welcome back. Welcome back, my beautiful souls. And welcome back to the Season of Self-Love. And I am your host, Nyomi Banks. Man, I know we had a nice talk on Wednesday. It was a very powerful show that we had on Wednesday. And it truly took me into the Thanksgiving weekend full of positivity, just ready to take the world by storm. Next year, I have a motto that I'm saying, the 2024 is the year of the domination. So I decided that I was going to take the weekend off, Thursday, Thanksgiving, of course, Friday as well. But also just take the rest of the weekend off and not truly think about business, anything at all. But just take that moment to be grateful for where I am today in my life. And even though we do that, I do it every day. But for some reason this weekend, it felt different. It felt different. I sat and watched Christmas movies. It was my baby girl birthday this weekend, so I was able to take her out and do some things with her and my nieces. And just even in that moment, even doing those things with her, I just looked at people around when we were in different sections and looking at them as inspiration. This is something that I do. And I know it might sound weird, but I do. I do a lot of people watching. But within my people watching that I do, I create a whole backstory. Yes, I do. I create a whole backstory on their life. And Nyomi, how do you do that? You know, because I sit and I watch. I watch the way that people move. I watch their facial expression. I watch their attitude on how they speak to others. I just watch that whole demeanor. And so in my mind, I sit there and I give it a whole story. And a lot of these stories that I was getting, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of the stories that I have created for these other people was very, very inspiring for me this weekend. And that's something that I do. I take everything in my life, whether I'm at the store, whether I'm walking in a park, whether I'm watching a movie. It helps me with self-inspiring myself. You know, I take those as inspired actions, as influences for me. And that is something that we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about today. So this is what I want to do. I want to take a quick break and then I want to come back. And then we're going to talk about how inspired, but not only that, but cultivating the inner motivation of self-love. We always talk about self-love, self-love care. And I do. I give strategies and, and all of these, all of these goals and, tips and exercises and all of those things. But let's find out a little deeper. Let's just go just a little deeper with that today. And again, today's topic is Inspire, Cultivating Motivation of Self-Love. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. And we got a whole bunch to talk about: understanding inspiration, finding sources of inspiration, fostering self-inspiration, and harnessing inspirational self-love. And then we will end it off with inspiring others. But again, let's take a quick break and come back. And then we will talk about understanding inspiration and what it means in your self-love journey. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the season of self-love. And we'll be right back. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by Neon.com, Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to AskNyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you.
I often find myself feeling stuck in my life and like I'm not reaching my full potential. But with Elevate Me, self-discovery, I've been able to tap into my inner self and discover what I truly want out of life. Elevate Me, Self-Discovery is an incredible program that combines video learning, self-help, and amazing audio to guide you through a journey of self-discovery. From feeling freedom and guided meditation to self-love and empowerment, this program is perfect for anyone looking to unlock their full potential. Don't let life pass you by.
Elevate Me, Self-Discovery. All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the season of self-love. And as we journey together, we are weaving through a tapestry of self-love while we've uncovered many measures that lie within us. And today we're going to light that spark that resides into our heart of being with today's episode of Inspire, Cultivating Inner Motivation of Self-Love. Inspiration is the music of the soul that compels us to dance, even when there's no reason to tap our feet. So let's tune in into the rhythm together. And let's start off with understanding inspiration and what it is for our self-love journey. The inspiration is a whisper of the deepest self calling us to rise, to reach, to grow. It is that profound inner pull that guides us towards our true potential, and not driven by external rewards, but by an authentic connection to our passions. Now, I'll share with you today the essence of what inspiration is and how it differs from the fleeting push of external motivation. And to kindle that spark, I'll offer you some quotes that has been very beneficial to my own journey of self-discovery. All right? All right, so let's start. It's a lot of things I talk about, and I talk about our true essence of who we are. And the essence of our inspiration is that it comes from within, arising from a deep sense of purpose, passion, and creativity. It is an eternal spark that ignites motivation and drives us individuals to pursue the dreams, overcome challenges, and reach the full potential. But unlike and different from external motivation, which often relies on temporary incentives or rewards, inspiration is a sustainable source of energy and drive. And it's not dependable on external factors, but stems from a genuine connection with one's value and aspiration and inner desires. For me, especially, doing sports in high school and in part of my college life, those are something that I was getting an award for, that I was getting instant gratification or instant validation from someone. And even though I thought that it was part of my passion, playing basketball, running track, and things like that, but I saw that as somewhat as an out of my reality or current situation to give me, where it will help pay for college. You know what I'm saying? It will get me out of a neighborhood or get me out of a community or situation that I no longer wanted to be in, as well as it get me praises. You understand what I'm saying? To where now I look at things totally different now. I have a different perspective on what inspiration means for me. To not only be inspired by others, but understanding how sharing my life and my story on what I've been to can inspire others and let them know that they can come out of that darkness. That just because their life was this way, that it doesn't have to continue that same way, that they are worthy of all of the good things, the things that they desire. You understand what I'm saying? So in this is, with inspiration, we often characterized by a sense of excitement, enthusiasm, and a strong belief in the possibilities that lie ahead. It fuels our motivation, allowing individuals to find joy and fulfilled in the pursuit, even when faced with obstacles and setbacks. And for me, and I cannot, no, let me say this. For me, sitting on this platform, whether I am talking to you through iHeartRadio, Apple, right there at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. If someone would have saw me and told me, you're going to do a podcast about self-love, you're going to do a podcast about Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, you're going to be an adult film star, I wouldn't have never believed these people in a million years. Never. And why I'm speaking of that now is because now I go back and look at everything in my life like it's a movie that's playing. It's a constant movie that is playing, and within each one of those chapters of my life, that gave me inspiration to keep going. It also gave me inspiration to understand and acknowledge who I am and who I am to the world, if that makes sense. So even though at a moment I might have felt very down, and not understanding what it was and why it was happening. But what I've learned now within the past 10 years is that everything that happened, what I thought that happened to me, it was actually happening for me. It was preparing me for this very moment right here. It was preparing me for the moment when I will be sitting down in my bedroom, speaking in my little office area in my bedroom, speaking into a mic, into a computer, and talking to the world about self-love, about how to have an intimate relationship with yourself. At this moment, it has been the most gratifying time. These past few weeks has been the most gratifying of all of my career. It has. So even in that for me gives me more self-inspired moments that tell me to keep going. Because not only are you filling up your soul and your spirit, but the words that you are using and even the energy behind it that you are pouring into the world to inspire others. As I shared last week about certain people that of influential celebrities that I was very influenced growing up, and I spoke of is Oprah Winfrey, because I saw a woman with the same hue, same color, dark skin color as me, becoming successful, but also hearing her story. But also there was another individual that I thought that was so inspiring and encouraging to me, and that was Tyler Perry. That right off I knew, even though he never spoke it with his mouth, you can tell from people having that, how can you say, that he inspired himself just through his life, just through the adversity that he's come past, the obstacles that he came through in life. And mind you, not knowing all of his stories, knowing his full story. But that was what brought me to him. Like I said, I used to go to his place, and I used to love it. And once I found out that he was going to the big screen, I thought it was amazing. And then the funny thing is that he started doing things that, that I seeked out to do, like be one of the first ones to write a black soap opera. I wrote a black soap opera. I even shot some hours of it. But it never came to fruition like I sat on it. And then when I seen him, years and years later that he put it out on on OWN, there was a moment, there was a little, envious of that, But then I looked at it and I said, wow, it wasn't my time. Like literally that, the script that I had written and even part of it, it was put on executive desk. And at that moment it told me that the world wasn't ready for a black soap opera. And I used to always say, I am before my time. I've always been before my time. But also in that process of me being before my time, I also saw that what my weakness was is that I wasn't patient with myself in the process. So even though I was before my time, I still could have wrote it all out. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of jumping from one thing to another and leaving that behind. Honestly, that has been the story of my life, but also what I take from it now is that is an inspiration of my life as well. Now knowing that, no, now you got to sit down and you got to sit in it. And understand there is no more jumping until you complete this assignment. Till you complete it, totally complete it. Now, what that looks like to me, I don't know. But what I have done is I've surrendered and allowed God in the universe to lead me in knowing when this is, when this part of this assignment is over instead of me jumping ship. But as I mentioned with Tyler Perry, there's a few quotes that I want to share that kept really was like And one of them I remember watching the Oprah Winfrey Show. That's, like I said, that's something that I watch all the time, especially when I was off of school. I made sure I tried to watch it every day that I could. But one of the biggest things that she used to say, one of the quotes that the biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Is to live the life of your dreams. And that is where I started to create, making my dreams a reality. I think I was like 7, 8, either 7, 8 or some 7, 8 or 9. One of those. It was right there. It was it was before I became a teenager. That was my motto that I was living through, is making my dreams a reality. And just from that quote that Oprah said, that sparked it right up under me. It's just right there. There was another one when we found out about her life story. And one thing she said, turn your wounds into wisdom. Turn your wounds into wisdom. And for me, my wounds might not be deeper than a lot of other people's wounds. But I feel that and I understand what that means. That means take those things that happened to you in your past, that trauma, that fear. As I always say, take those lessons as teachable moments because you just don't know who you can inspire or encourage in the moments when you share your life. When you allow them to know that it's okay to be vulnerable. But see, people look at vulnerability as being weak. But no, vulnerability is strength. When you have the courage to stand and be in your stuff and speak it. But not only that, but to acknowledge it. It won't better and change from it. That itself is inspiring when you yourself can look at that. And I'm telling you, especially these past 5 years, it has been amazing. Just to sit and watch myself and like, man, that's you? Damn, girl, you bad. Man, who would have ever thought? Because we don't think that. But after we keep on listening to this season of self-love, we're going to know, because we're going to stop what? Limiting our beliefs. Not only will we be inspired by others and put that in our life story, but also we be inspired by ourselves. Because we will look at those obstacles and that trauma differently now. Because right now you are either sitting at your office listening to me, or today's your day off and you're listening to me in bed, or you're driving in the car listening to me. But probably sometime in your life you wouldn't have never thought that you would still be here on this earth listening to anything or anyone. Because in that moment you thought, oh, it's over. I'm not going to get past this. But you're here. You're here on November 27th, 2023. And you're listening to a retired porn star speaking to us about self-love, about having the deepest relationship with yourself. So once you have that intimate relationship with yourself, then you can go out into that world and show them what self-love looks like. Be an encouragement and an inspiration to others to say, man, that's what self-love looks like. Because you will have a glow. You will have a swag. The people are like, ooh, I want some of that. And then, as I said last week, it will be a domino effect. It will be a domino effect. So what I want to do, I want to take a quick break, and then I want to come back. And I want to touch a little base on finding source and inspiration. And I spoke a little bit before on some things, but we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about it some more. Because I want us all, and when I say us, I mean me too. I want us all to truly, man, I could keep going, because I'm telling you, I found a little time yesterday to do a little work, and I did a little pre-work on 2024. And as I said before, that is the year of the domination. And I've already started breaking out and scheduling show topics for the season of self-love, as well as Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. So I'm spending the last 31 days of 2023, and I am preparing myself for domination, for me dominating in every single aspect of my life in 2024. But I'm going to share this with you all. I'm going to share it with you all. So I'm doing a nice cleanse. I'm doing a parasite cleanse. I'm taking all of that stuff out of my closet, clear it all up. Things that I haven't worn in years, things that I've had from award shows and stuff like that. All of that is gone because it no longer, first of all, I can't wear half of the stuff anyway. But second of all, it no longer aligns to who I am. It doesn't. So why do I keep that, right? Throw it away. Throw it away. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back. And when we come back, we'll be talking about finding sources and inspiration. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on the season of self-love. And we'll be right back. Have you ever felt like you're standing at the door to success, key in the hand, but something's holding you back? Well, you're not alone. My new ebook, Unlocking Your Door to Success, is your guide to healing and overcoming those internal struggles. If you want to learn more and step into your success, go to stand.store/elevate-me-self-discovery. Get your free ebook for a limited time.
Hey, this is Dog Pound Mike from Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Come check us out every week. And remember, I'm no relationship expert. I just tell it like I hear from the kennel. Get back at it.
All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're talking about inspire, cultivating inner motivation of self-love. And I said we're going to come back and we're going to talk about finding a source of inspiration and what that looks like in our self-love journey. Our world is rich with sources of inspiration, right? From the stories etched in our books to the silent wisdom of nature. In this segment, we'll explore how these sources can act as mirrors and reflecting back to us of the value and passions that we hold dear. And I'll share you some of my own moments of unexpected inspiration and tales of those who found their muse in the most unanticipated places. So for me, I'm going to be very open and candid with this. For the past few weeks, my mother, and I think I mentioned to before that she has sign of dementia and Alzheimer's. So lately we've been experiencing some, what do I call them? Episodes. And these episodes are getting more and more intense. And I, as her daughter and her caretaker, have witness this evolution of a woman who I see and hold very high and dear to have been so powerful in everything she does, and to now seeing the unsureness of the insecurity of the fear, all of that in the raw, and trying to figure out how to maneuver all of that, but still allow that person or that woman, that loved one, to feel, to continue to hold their dignity, if that makes sense. So stay with me for a moment. And watching what has been transpiring for the past few weeks, and even some of these moments have been very emotional. But even in that process of watching all of that, it inspired me more to truly continue to work on myself so I can better handle that situation. I understand that this is not happening to us, to me, to my mom, that is happening for us. That I understand this that's happening with us, that's happening for us, is building and creating for me to practice patience and tolerance on a daily, every day. That not only patience and tolerance for myself, but patience and tolerance for someone that's been of an authority figure to me. Someone that I seen a certain way, and that was to give me empathy and compassion as well for that. And what it did inspire me is that, okay, there is more work that I need to do for myself in this self-love and self-discovery. Because even in this moment with that little part that I just spoke about there, is that I can take that story and share it with others who can possibly be dealing with older parents or grandparents that are going through that. It was so funny because I remember sitting down this morning in my prayer meditation, and I remember thinking, man, did that book, The Four Agreements, come to me right in the nick of time. Because what I've been learning is that I can't take what she says personal. I cannot. Because it's really not about me. This is about her and what's happening to her. And in my reactions, I still have to use my words impeccably. I have to use my words with grace and understanding. That I can't do no more or no less of what has been given to me. So why should I stress or worry about something I have no control of? To just deal with what the processes that I have now. And never assume. I cannot assume that she knows A, B, C, and D anymore. I can't assume that she knows the difference of her tone or her voice when she's coming to speak to me. And so in that inspired me to do certain things for me in my life as the parasite. I've been doing research on that as cleansing our bodies and deworming our bodies. That inspired me like, okay, let's stop all the bull crap. Let's stop all of that. Okay, it's time to stop eating A, B, C, and D and get it together. Because potentially this can happen to you. Because it happened to your grandmother. It's happening to your mother. But then you see research and you see videos and you see all of that tells you the correct way to do and what to eat and what vitamins to take, what natural herbs and natural plants and stuff to eat. So now that's your inspiration to do that, especially if you want to continue to be on this earth, remembering things and not going to that place where you can be here for your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids. So for that was a muse for me to continue to do what I'm doing. Because I know, look, I need to know to be able to make money because I don't want to put my mom in a home. So I'd rather to where I'm able to have care, home care, that she can have her own wing of the house, or better yet, her own home right across the street from me or whatever, with a nurse there, right there, that can be able to do what I'm not equipped to do. And that's another thing, to inspire me to work on the things that I'm not equipped with. So in part, that is one, oh my God, that's just one of my inspiration sources, just seeing that. And I spoke a little bit earlier about Tyler Perry. I just watched this documentary called Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story, and that was moving. So it's like within your life or anything around you in your life, find that inspiration. And it's so easy. Watching TV, it is so easy to find and inspire Another thing that I look at too is when I look at someone that looks like they don't have anything, and they still come out to be successful or even just smiling. You understand what I'm saying? And when I look at that, I'm like, there is no reason why I should be complaining. No reason why. I have a beautiful niece and she has Down syndrome. Beautiful. She hugs everybody. I mean, even when we was at Sky Zone, she was just hugging people. Just hugging, and she has a heart condition as well, and so she gets sick very often, and I was just happy and blessed that my sister, even let her come to this, to this place where all of these germs are at. But knowing that she might be in a hospital, and I don't want to speak on this, but in the next few days or whatever, it's just, she's always just had this bright light. And that inspires me to stop complaining so much. It inspires me to live for today, to appreciate everything that I have. I have good health, but also I have the choice to continue to have better health, or to create a better health pattern for not only myself but the rest of my family. So if you can find those moments in your life just for inspiring, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. The next one is fostering self-inspiration. To cultivate self-inspiration is to tend to the garden of our inner world. I offer you practical strategies to nurture this growth, and we'll dive into the power of setting goals that resonate with our soul's desires and how to stand firm against gales of self-doubt and fear. I share tips on how it has helped me anchor into my inner motivation, and even when those seas are rough as hell. Let's talk about nurturing. Excuse me. Let's talk about nurturing your growth and cultivating self-inspiration. So we're going to start off with this. First of all, set meaningful goals. Define clear and meaningful goals that align with your values and your passions, and having a sense of purpose that will provide you with motivation and inspiration to pursue personal growth. I had did this course a few months ago with Finding Bliss, self-love. And it was when I had a whole list of values and stuff like that. And if you want that list that I have, it had to be like 100-something different values, but ever to pick in. And I remember doing this exercise of picking between 7 and 9 of those values, and look at those values as ingredients for yourself, ingredients for your soul, from there. And wait, hold on. All right, so I remember giving this exercise and this assignment. And so within all of the words that he had, I said, choose 9. It was 9. And these are the words that I chose. I chose of them, for me, it was love, empathy, compassion, uniqueness, spirituality, humility, inspiring, family, and integrity. And so also I had said, with those words, I want you to speak of, put it in a poem or put it in a letter describing who you are using these ingredients. So these ingredients, these values, these are ingredients of who you are. And this is what I wrote. I said, I, Nyomi, lead in love in everything I do, knowing that having empathy and compassion for others make my uniqueness even more unique. I embrace my spirituality and sexuality with boldness while still keeping my humility intact. Inspiring others is what lights me up, knowing that my true success is my family and in my integrity. So I chose that out of all of those words. I chose these 9s, and I was able to put them in. And I guess this is my recipe for me. So if you can choose of 9 strong values that you have for yourself, and see if you can create an ingredient or a message pass as you just heard me read. And I ask, if you do that, please, and you want to share with me, email me at elevateme999@gmail.com, and I would love to read it and to share it. Excuse me. But that's one of them. Also, create a personal growth plan. Outline a plan that includes specific actions and milestones to help you achieve your goals. Break them down. Break them down, larger goals into smaller goals and achievable steps to make the process and build momentum. Remember last week when I was telling you about the different steps and the different landings, And that's something that instead of me doing another vision board, I'm going to do skyscrapers. Yeah. So with different skyscrapers, and it's going to be where you can see the inside of the skyscrapers per stairs going to each floor of the skyscraper, where I will have my ultimate goals for that thing. So say, for instance, for Ask Name Bridging the Gap podcast, I want to average at least 20,000 downloads a week per show. You know what I'm saying? Starting off. And so from there, I will work on those steps to get to that landing. You understand what I'm saying? So within that, you keep going from there. All right, the next thing, cultivate a positive mindset. Develop a positive mindset by practicing gratitude, positive affirmation, and refraining from negative thoughts. Surround yourself with positive influence and seek out uplifting content such as book, podcasts, and motivational speeches. And I received this message this morning, and it was about your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And so what I did this morning is I challenged myself to look, it starts to, because there's nothing you can do with some of these crazy negative thoughts that you have. So how about we change the way that we think about those things? I challenged myself to have more positive and encouraging and inspiring thoughts. And even though I might think something is happening to me, understand that it's happening for me, and figure out what it is in this situation that I need to pay attention to. So that's why I used that, I shared that story. I won't say use, I shared that story about my mom. And how that in that moment, going through that, it inspired me to work harder, to be more consistent in what I'm doing, to work on me more. And how important that is to work on me more. Continuously learn and acquire new skills. Commit to lifelong learning by acquiring new knowledge and skills that align with your interests and your goals. Take online courses, attend workshops, engage in activities, expand your knowledge, all of that. For me, that's something that I do all the time. Even when I think that not that I know it all, but even when I think I don't need it at this time, there's something that come across. And I'll be like, wow, I can't even afford that. Then all of a sudden, it's for a special, a $10 special or something like that. And like it was meant for me to do that. It was meant for me to take this course. And I now take advantage of those things. Now I'm into those, things. Sometimes I get these, I want to call it junk mail, and sometimes I will look at them and sometimes I won't. But I'm more now looking at them for inspiration in those letters as well that come, because sometimes there may be a course or a live, something that I can read, or a free ebook or something, in that can help inspire and encourage me on a project that I'm working on, that'll help with that. Like I said, seek inspiration, embrace your failures, and learning opportunity from those. That's one thing that I do, and not that I love my failures, but what I love about it is when I acknowledge those failures and I understand, and then when I come back around, it's different. It's a different reaction. It's a different thing that I do to make it successful. Practice self-care and well-being. Man. And reflect and celebrate your progress. Always. Always do that. Always. Always. All right, harnessing inspiration and self-love. Inspiration is a very vital and nutrient to blossoming self-love. It's part of our conversation, and we're exploring in all different channels of inspiration. Make sure you're nurturing your self-compassion and also be acceptance of it. Always. Inspiring others is nothing better than being able to share your story where at one time you thought it was just going to end in your life, like you could not get away, but showing someone that you are able to come from whatever that was that you came from, and you on top, man. Man. And again, that is why I'm so happy that I created the Season of Self-Love podcast. Oh, and I love my Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Yes, I do. But the Season of Self-Love hit differently. It really does. It really does. And what I love about it is that it allows me to show my purest light. But also what it allows my listeners to do is resonate with what I am saying and apply that into their daily lives, as well as what they can look within their life and be inspired with their own stuff. Then they will encourage them to be able to stand strong and proud and be able to share their story and inspire others. I had a whole list of celebrities that I wanted to share some of their stories with. And I said, girl, you got your own stories that you can share. And it's not you being arrogant or anything like that. You want to make sure that when you're speaking to your audience, when you're speaking to them, that they're able to know that it is of a genuine. Then not only do they see your light, but they can see the root in the core where it's coming from. That they can understand because they've seen you at your rawest moments of your life. So when they hear you speak and they talk now, they know that this is for real. So share your story. Yes, we know the Oprahs, we know all, and I love their stories because those are part of my inspirational stories too. But then when we're talking about cultivating motivation for self-love, a lot of times we have to look within. And that's what I share with you all, is what I looked in for myself today and what inspired me around me during this weekend. And when I take those walks in the park and I'm able to zone out with the music in my head and just take me somewhere else. And then when I finish with that, I can come home and write something, create a book, make jewelry. Inspiring. It's just the little things in life. It truly is. It's just the little things in life. All right, I just want to leave you all with this. Today we danced around this inspiration, and I know y'all felt the flow of the rhythm, like I said, from the core of our self-love journey. But as we close, I encourage you to seek that spark within and to let it guide you and to trust it in its power to transform. Remember, inspiration is not just a monetary flicker. It is a lighthouse that can guide you through the darkest night. And so I thank you for sharing this space with me and for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Keep seeking the light within and let it shine bright for all of us to see. Please share your stories of inspiration with us, and together let's illuminate a path of self-love for one another. Until next time, may you be inspired, be bold, and be kind to the incredible person that you are. Man, I said nothing but love, light, and prayers to all of you. And again, thank you. I am so humbly honored that I am able to be on this platform and be able to speak to you all. Enjoy your Monday. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Send the light, love, and prayers.